Franka Gabler. I am a photographer. I live in Coarsegold in Sierra Foothills. It's basically just about 35-40 minutes north of Fresno. And I moved to California in 1997, and I fell in love with landscapes around me. And first I moved here as a young scientist, and soon after I discovered photography. First was my hobby, and then it became my second career. I still work as a scientist, but photography is a big part of my life. I fell in love with the mountains. You know, coming from from Croatia, this was a foreign landscape to me. But then first time when I came to Yosemite, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was very wet year, and it was right after that 1997 flood. What was that year?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, that was in February, I think, that year or something like that. And then I came to Yosemite. First time when I visited Yosemite was springtime of 1997, and everything was lush, and waterfalls were seeping from every wall around me, south wall, north wall. And I was in awe. I couldn't believe how beautiful it was. And then soon I started exploring the Sierras. I had friends. They borrowed me their camping equipment, and because I didn't have anything such. And after that, slowly now I'm experienced hiker and climber and backpacker, and that's my highlight of the year when I can go in the high country and explore Sierras. Maybe because it's such a pristine experience being out there by yourself.
Tell us a little bit about your life in Croatia in terms of, you said you were a scientist. In what field were you working?
Plant pathology. I was in the grad school, and it's agricultural field. So
Mm-hmm.
plant diseases of agricultural crops. What is the connection with photography? Well, with photography, you have to have technical knowledge. You have to understand your camera. You have to understand exposure. And there is also curiosity that ties it both together. Mm-hmm. Because curiosity as a scientist and curiosity and creativity as a photographer. I park my car, put my photo backpack on, and just venture into the woods and explore.
So how heavy is that? Have you weighed it?
Oh yeah, but you want to try it? It's pretty heavy. It's probably, I'd say, 15 pounds.
Oh! Do you wear this on your back?
I wear that on my back, yeah.
Oh my goodness! You're in good shape.
Well, that's what it takes. This is my primary photo equipment.
Just to kind of let people know what is in a photo backpack like that, like what's your essential equipment?
Okay, I'll open my photo backpack. So it has everything, so I can it has my Nikon D850, and this is the lens I like to really use a lot. It's 80-400, and it allows me to extract unique scenes from otherwise well-known places. So I just zoom in and find my own interesting composition. So I have a couple of...
So that's your kind of go-to lens.
That's my go-to. So then I have... This one's also to go to 24-70, so it's just a medium telephoto. I have really wide one. This is 16 to 35. Then often I popped in my macro lens. Goes right here. So this bag is always ready. So I just sometimes when I wake up early and I'm thinking, oh, should I go back to sleep? And it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I realize I'm awake. I just get up and get my camera in my car and go to Yosemite.
Do you do your printing?
I do. I print my own work.
So you don't have to rely on anyone else?
No, I like to be in control.
So do you use Photoshop?
Yeah, I have to use Photoshop. When you shoot in camera raw, the camera and sensors captures everything, and so as an artist you have to make creative decisions regarding how to interpret what you saw in the field. For example, let's say this photograph right here. It was photographed at the wildlife refuge. By converting it to black and white, you make a creative decision which mood you want to express. So I wanted this one to be more of a dark, moody, spooky photograph. And so I used Photoshop conversion to black and white to make it dark and moody and spooky and mysterious. If I left it to camera to make such decisions for me, it would be just a photo with like some blue skies, and it wouldn't speak as it wouldn't convey the same message as it conveys right now.
If you were to show us the original image, how would it be different from what you see?
I can show it to you.
Oh, okay.
I think I have a small print right here. And this is also edited. It's also nice and beautiful.
What you're doing is changing the mood of it, is that right?
Yes, just by converting to black and white. It's a dusk hour in Yosemite National Park. This was in 2015 when the first bark beetle damaged trees started to die. And when they were starting to die, they would turn this cinnamon color before they shed all their needles. And I used, it was almost a minute or 2 minute exposure to capture the movement in this mist to make it more ghostly. So it's using camera in the field, but you also have to use know how to edit to bring, for example, attention to the important elements of the scene. Like, for example, this was the tree that was dying, and after that, soon after, years later, all these trees were dead. Many of them. So the forest is much thinner right now in Yosemite. I don't use much Photoshop. I just do what's necessary to bring the most important thing in the scene. So this is also from Yosemite. Well, you see, the background is in fog and mist are my favorite conditions to photograph, because it conceals all the destruction elements that would compete with my subject. So it allows me to make clean compositions. That when I happen to be at the place where mist is forming, to me it's like almost spiritual experience, because it allows to make sense out of clutter. I like this one.
Oh, that's
Is that,
amazing.
what is that?
These are sand dunes in Death Valley. I haven't made a print of this yet, but
It's so sculptural.
it is. It does look like a woman's body. This is my newest photograph. I photographed this maybe 10 days ago in Yosemite, and I had to make a print. It's not enough for me to see the file on the computer. I like to feel it, and so that's how I end up with a lot of inventory.
And can you tell us about this? Because I'm not. It looks like a riverbank scene, or a.
It's a waterfall
Oh, it's okay.
in
So that's.
Yosemite. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That vertical line is part of the water?
Yes. It was the where the water was flowing. The most of water was here, so that's why I had long exposure. So it was capturing the light in that water as it was, flowing.
You have a lot easier working with a digital camera.
It's just digital camera allows you for more experimentation, because I photographed probably 10 different frames of this scene, and I only used this one.
Mm-hmm.
The others were a little bit wider. If I had film, I would probably think twice before I would, press the shutter. And so in the end, I think your creativity is harnessed by, $sign every time you press a shutter. So if you have a digital camera, you just experiment. Yeah, my work evolved over the years. First when so I even published a book on Coarsegold Creek. It's Stellar Gallery. It was self-published, more like a portfolio. But then I participated in Sierra Art Trails, and everybody wanted Yosemite. And so I started going to Yosemite, and then and this is like a natural progression of almost every photographer. They, in the area that comes here, I thought, I have to have all these images of iconic rocks in Yosemite. And so I did. I spent my energy looking for, beautiful clouds, beautiful light, let's say if they will turn pink or something like that. And so I got all these iconic photographs of iconic rocks, and they're nice, they're beautiful, but they kind of leave me a little bit empty. I don't feel like I contributed much of my personal view. It's just a matter of beautiful light that I captured. And so pretty soon I started moving from wide vistas, and I tried to zoom in and find my own personal view that I think it's mine. This is early morning scene. It was in the sun was just coming up. It was pre-dawn. That's why it's blue, because of the blue light. And I was thinking, shall I change the white balance so it's not blue? And I said, no, this is autumn blues. And I left it as is because it was photographed during blue light. And this one won the first place in Yosemite Renaissance last year.
It is so beautiful. All of your work is beautiful. You can tell when you look at your work that you have a real love of the landscape, but also you have great technical ability to enhance that. Makes it very nice.